Citing Geniuses. Pablo Neruda, A Song to Life and Poetry. Poetry is a weapon loaded with the future. Pablo Neruda, pseudonym of Neftali Ricardo Reyes Basolto, was born on July 12, 1904 in Parral, Chile. His life and work are intertwined in a unique way, marking an immortal path in 20th century literature. As he himself said, poetry is a weapon loaded with the future, and Neruda was a masterful archer who shot his verses straight into the heart of the world. 20 Love Poems and a Song of Despair. They can cut all the flowers, but they can't stop the spring. The legendary 20 Poems of Love and a Song of Despair belongs to Neruda's youth. Published in 1924, at the young age of 20, this book became a literary phenomenon. His fiery and passionate verses, impregnated with a modernist aftertaste, speak of love with an intensity that has endured over time. Residence on Earth. No bend of the river, no lamentation, the roots, the eyes, the bones of the earth. In his monumental work, Residence on Earth, 1933 to 1935, Neruda dives into the depths of the human soul and the cosmos. Here, the poet unravels the meaninglessness of the world, revealing a dark and chaotic panorama. His verses become surreal, weaving a web of fragmented realities and dark visions. General Singh. Fighting is as beautiful as life. With Canto General, 1950, Neruda transcends personal poetry to embrace the political epic. This epic poem becomes a hymn to struggle and social justice, exalting the myths and history of Latin America. Here, Neruda transforms into the singer of an entire continent, paying tribute to his legacy and his people. Elemental Odes. It is time to leave, the hard and cold hour that the night does not want to hear. In his Elemental Odes, 1954 to 1957, Neruda returns to thematic and expressive simplicity. His verses become serene, reflecting the maturity of a poet who has explored the abysses of the soul and the world. Here, Neruda pays tribute to the everyday, finding beauty in the simplest details of life. A poet committed to reality. They told me, communists cannot write about stars. No. It is the duty of communists to write about stars. Pablo Neruda was not only a literary genius, but a man committed to his time and his people. From his political activism in the Chilean Communist Party to his friendship with the great poets of his time, Neruda left an indelible mark on the history of literature and the fight for social justice. In 1971, the world awarded him the Nobel Prize for Literature, recognizing his contribution to poetry and his voice in defense of humanity. However, his life ended amid political turbulence when Augusto Pinochet's coup d'état shook Chile. Pablo Neruda died on September 23, 1973, deeply affected by the events that marked his country. Famous quotes and verses. I can write the saddest verses tonight. Write, for example, the night is starry, and the stars shiver, blue, in the distance. The night wind spins in the sky and sings. I can write the saddest verses tonight. I loved her, and sometimes she loved me too. On nights like this I had her in my arms. I kissed her so many times under the infinite sky. Fragment. In a kiss, you'll know everything I kept silence. The privilege for the great thief, the prison for the one who steals a loaf. Shyness is a condition foreign to the heart, a category, a dimension that leads to loneliness. Knowing the love of those we love is the fire that fuels life. Poetry is born from the pain. Joy is an end in itself. Love is so short and oblivion is so long. For nothing separate us that nothing unites us. Let's sow the plain before plowing the hill. The child who does not play is not a child, but the man who does not play forever lost the child who lived in him. I want to do with you what spring does with cherry trees. I love your feet because they walked on the earth and on the wind and on the water, until they found me. I will belong to no one, only to you. Until my bones turn to ashes and my heart stops beating. I loved her, and sometimes she loved me too. If nothing saves us from death, at least love saves us from life. I like you when you are silent because you are as if absent and you hear me from afar, and my voice does not touch you. It seems as if your eyes had flown away, and it seems as if a kiss closed your mouth. Love is born from memory, lives from intelligence and dies from oblivion. Do not do with love what a child does with his balloon, that when he has it he ignores it, and when he loses it he cries. Then you realize that it is not the one who moves the floor, but the one who centers you. It's not the one who steals your heart, but the one who makes you feel like you have it back. Under your skin the moon lives. I love you this way because I don't know how to love any other way. At night I dream that you and I are two plants that rose together, with tangled roots, and that you know the earth and the rain like my mouth because we are made of earth and rain. Does he who always waits suffer more than he who never waited for anyone? This is how I wait for you as a home alone. And you will see me again and inhabit me. Otherwise my windows hurt. Your wide eyes are the light I have from the defeated constellations, your skin pulsates like the paths that the meteor travels in the rain. It was my destiny to love and say goodbye. At night, beloved, tie your heart to mine, and may they defeat the darkness in their dreams. Love knew then that it was called love. And when I lifted my eyes to your name your heart suddenly made my way. Mistress. Love as the night collapses. And if you don't give more, just find what is in your hands, remember that giving love is never in vain. How would I know how to love you, woman, how would I know how to love you like no one ever knew? Dying and still loving you more. And since then I am because you are, and since then you are, I am and we are, and for love I will be, you will be, we will be. She, the one who loved me, died in spring, and took the spring to heaven. There are countries, there are rivers in your eyes, my country is in your eyes, I walk through them, thirst for you haunts me on hungry nights. Your chest is enough for my heart. I love you like you love certain dark things. Someday anywhere you will inevitably find yourself, and that, only that, can be the happiest or the bitterest of your hours. Laughter is the language of the soul. If you don't climb the mountain, you will never be able to enjoy the landscape. Feeling the love of the people we love is a fire that fuels our lives. Happiness is internal, not external, therefore, it does not depend on what we have, but on what we are. Let us generously forget those who cannot love us. Only with ardent patience will we conquer the splendid city that will give light, justice, and dignity to all men. Thus poetry will not have sung in vain. There are wounds that, instead of opening our skin, open our eyes. He who does not travel, who does not read, who does not listen to music, who does not find charm in himself, dies slowly. It is forbidden not to smile in the face of problems, not to fight for what you want, to abandon everything out of fear, not to make your dreams come true. There is a certain pleasure in madness, which only the madman knows. We poets hate hate, and we make war on war. If you ask me what my poetry is, I must tell you I don't know, but if you ask my poetry, it will tell you who I am. Luck is the excuse of failures. He who destroys his self-esteem, who does not allow himself to be helped, dies slowly. If you liked it, subscribe, like and activate the bell for more content like this.